I am just, my heart is just bursting open right now. I just filled with so much love and gratefulness for each and every one of you. Oh, just got God bumps. Ah, the theme for July is living everyday wonder, nature. Oh, of course. All right. The theme for August is living everyday wonder, nature. And the topic for today is Earth Force Report to Duty. Henry David Thoreau proclaimed the sacredness of the earth when he wrote, "Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads." Whew. And Jacques Cousteau, the famous oceanographer, once said, "For most of history, humanity has had to fight nature to survive. In this century, we are beginning to realize that in order to survive, we must protect it." Let's all affirm together, "I am one with all of the life on planet Earth." Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Let's all affirm together, "I am one with all of life on planet Earth." Mm. And now our radiant beneficial presence, also known as Reverend Dr. Kathleen Johnson.
Over here. Oh, mask. There we go. What a beautiful topic. Living everyday wonder, nature. This is a very easy topic to get into for me because I love being out in nature. You know, I love to bike. Dan and I bike during the time of year when we're able to do that. I love hiking. I love just being out in nature. I love sitting on our screened-in porch and having our meals and enjoying the birds coming to the bird feeder. And what I have witnessed personally is this because this is too close to me? There we go. Okay. This is a brand new, a brand new mic system, so we're still working on it. But what I've noticed in all of my experiences with nature is the calming effect that it has on me, how it helps me get into the present moment, let go of everything that came before, because the beauty and the magnificent of creation is, to me, astounding. It's astounding. How many of you feel that way about nature? I mean, it's it's such a healing thing. And of course, now with scientific research, they're finding that, it has all these wonderful benefits for us, which is no surprise. It like clarifies the mind and calms the body and all of those things. And of course, those of us who spend a lot of time in nature know that. And so we know the importance of not only the healing power of nature, but that in order for us to survive on this planet, the well being and the health of our planet is essential. It's essential. And so the call today, and there's the Air Force, right? The call today is to join the Earth Force. And I think many of us are already on that team or in that place. And to report for duty. I mean, to really suit up and show up day after day after day by not only feeling grateful for the beautiful planet and appreciating it, but taking action, daily, sustainable action for the planet. And I know many of us are already involved in that. We recycle and we compost and, things like that. However, I'm encouraging you to up the ante. And then we're going to be talking about some other ways you can do that today. So, one of the songs that came to me when I was thinking about this topic is a song from my days as a Methodist. And if you know this song, you can sing it with me. I'm just going to sing the first verse. For the beauty of the earth. Sound familiar? For the glory of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. Think of what's in that verse. The message, and it's interesting, now that I'm involved in New Thought, I get that phrase more than I ever have before. It's we know the beauty of the earth, the glory of the skies, but for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. I have come to understand what omnipresence is, the omnipresent love of God over and around us and within us. And so gratitude, and it talks about raise and praising God, the creator of this magnificent earth. A song of grateful praise. So if we bring that attitude into our everyday life, living everyday wonder, nature is a very natural thing for us. So today the focus is going to be on a few universal laws. One of them is the law of harmony and order, which is the first law or first principle. And the next one is the law of evolution, everything ever expanding and ever unfolding. And the final one is something that's called the earth body philosophy. And I think when you hear it, you'll understand that it is really the oneness principle. So let's take a look at these. The law of harmony. When you think about it, life is symbiotic, interrelated, interdependent. Rocks, trees, people, animals, all life is interrelated and symbiotic and interdependent. And a really simple example is we breathe oxygen. We breathe in oxygen from the trees. The trees gift and the plants gift us with this thing called oxygen. And we breathe out what? Carbon dioxide, which feeds the plants. Symbiotic, interdependent relationship. And this is just one of many on the planet. And I was thinking about, too, all of the small organisms that are in the air that we breathe, that are in our microbiome, all of these various minute one-celled beings that populate us, with particularly in the microbiome. It's mind-blowing. And when everything's in balance, right, then it serves us. It supports us in digestion, and it supports us in having a healthy immune system and all of that kind of thing. So there's this amazing balance that is built in to the fabric of the universe. Harmony, the law of harmony. Harmony within all of its parts, necessary for the survival and the health of all. And so our bodies and the condition of the earth are completely intertwined. And they reflect our state of mind. And I'll be talking a little bit more about the place that we play in our human existence in this whole balance of life. However, in our ignorance, I'm going to not say, in humanity's ignorance, we humans have violated the law of harmony. And it begins with our attitudes, the attitudes of separation, like there's me and then there's nature. And nature is something I must dominate. So that was the old pattern that Jacques Cousteau was talking about. And he made it sound like all humanity was doing that, like fighting to survive. And what we know is the indigenous cultures have known for centuries that you must live in balance with nature. They've known that. He was talking about maybe the European, the Western world philosophy of we must fight nature. But we know that from our indigenous brothers and sisters, they're bringing us back to this awareness of the interdependence of all life. So when I think about what it is that we do, and it's so perfect that Michelle is doing this complaint-free world right now, and I'm going to re-engage. I actually did get through 21 days years ago. It took me a long time, but I finally did it. So this is a very powerful practice. And the reason why is because complaints are toxic. They're toxic for our bodies. And because our bodies are so intertwined with the earth, they're toxic for the earth. Anybody thought about that? If we want to take care of our planet, we must let go of toxic thinking. It's not only our bodies, but it's the earth that's involved. Because when we complain, when we have toxic thoughts, our actions tend to follow that. And so when we clean everything up and we come from a place of love and awe and wonder and what can I do to support and protect the planet, just very solution oriented, then what happens is we become this amazing beneficial presence, and we contribute to cleaning up the environment by cleaning up our thoughts, because our actions will follow our words. And I thought of Dr. Emoto's work with water. How many of you are familiar with his work? Good, a lot of people are. He found that by placing words on jars that had water in them and putting them in the freezer, that those that had things like love and gratitude and so on formed these beautiful, well-balanced water crystals. And things like hatred and negative stuff would create these really distorted crystals. And so how much of our planet and our bodies are made of water? Think about it. I love to go back to this and remind myself of this. So the water in our bodies, and I'm sure everything, responds. That's proof that it responds to our thoughts. And so we are making beautiful, beautiful patterns in our body temples by hanging out in love and gratitude and raise and praise and all of those other kinds of things, living everyday wonder. This whole entire year is dedicated to cultivating that consciousness that supports this. So breaking the habit of complaining then is a way that we can contribute to the law and align with the law of harmony and make things better for our planet. The next one is the law of evolution. Life as a whole is ever unfolding. It's an interrelated, interdependent evolutionary process. And so the thing that's really powerful about our spiritual teaching is that we, by knowing who we are in truth, emanations of God, and we understand the power of our word, we can participate in our own conscious evolution and thus support the conscious evolution of all of humanity and support the planet. That's powerful. That is really big when you think about it. We can participate in our own evolution and the evolution of humanity. And all of you who are here today and all of those who are part of our spiritual community that haven't made it today, and all of the other communities, Centers for Spiritual Living and New Thought communities, all the other spiritual traditions that are working on cleaning up their consciousness all over the planet are contributing then to the health of the planet, to the evolution of consciousness. And that's really powerful to think about. So we can choose to evolve into that next expression of humanity, the universal human. The universal human who understands. It's that perfect combination of divine and the divine and the human to be a powerful, beneficial presence on the planet. And we know from the work of Dr. David Hawkins that higher vibrational, higher frequency consciousness is so much exponentially more powerful than negative consciousness. So we can counterbalance those who still have not, raised themselves into these higher frequencies. So evolution, the law of evolution. The last one is the earth body philosophy. And this is the idea behind this is that Earth is teeming with life. Everything is alive, and that means even decaying matter is full of life, isn't it? So Troward, I think, really brought it to my attention when I studied him. He said there's no such thing as dead matter. It's really important to understand that everything is alive. And so it's really important to understand that this actually it's based on the ancient Greek principle macrocosm, microcosm, that there is a repetition of patterns throughout the cosmos, from the macrocosm, the universal, the grand scale, to the microcosm, the subatomic level. The patterns are repetitive, and for some of you who have seen the Power of 10, have you ever seen that Power of 10 clip that goes from it goes from the humanity up into the micro and the macrocosm, the galaxy and everything, and then goes all the way down to the subatomic and like the kind of galaxy thing going on in the atom. It's pretty astounding to see the repetition of the patterns. So this is really important because we humans are the medium or the bridge between the macrocosm and the microcosm. And we are the macrocosm and the microcosm. We talk about this a lot, that this is what unity, true unity and omnipresence means, is that the entirety of God is present everywhere because God is indivisible. We have these individualized expressions that we're experiencing. I mean, we look around, we think, well, everybody's separate. And we are in a certain sense, and well, we're individualized, but we are completely unified in this one infinite universal whole or presence, which is God. So this earth body philosophy then is a reminder that we are a cell in Earth's body. We are an earth unto ourselves. We are a planet within a galaxy of humanity. We are a universe containing many earths within us. Remember the microbiome and all the cells. The human body, therefore, is a reflection of the earth body. And so everyone is a miniature earth. And what we do to the earth, what we do to ourselves, we do to the earth, and what we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. It's this very symbiotic relationship. But it's the oneness principle. So to conclude, I would like us to affirm this statement by Ernest Holmes. It's in This Thing Called You, his book called This Thing Called You. And so if you would repeat after me, I am guided by the same intelligence and inspired by the same imagination that scatters the moonbeams across the waves and holds the forces of nature in its grasp. Isn't that beautiful? So, while we are witnessing many changes in the weather patterns and crises on our planet. This I know to be true, is that the end has not been decided. And so one thing is clear. It's time for all of us to report for duty on the Earth Force. Because we have within us the power to truly make a difference and to swing things in the direction of restoration of the planet through the restoration of our own consciousness. And so I'm going to invite all of you to unplug. You know, it's so tempting to take our phones with us everywhere. To unplug every day and get yourself out in nature. Take your shoes off. This time of year, we can take our shoes off. Some people, like I know Harold Smith, takes his shoes off in the winter as well and goes out in the grass. But, you know, take your shoes off. Stand in the grass if you can't do any more than that for the day. If you can, take a tree bath. You know, we've learned about the Japanese practice of tree bathing. Walk through the sand at the beach. I mean, whatever is available to you. One of the things we can do is to take time to reconnect with Mother Earth, to live everyday wonder in full connection and full appreciation of the amazing gift of Mother Earth, amazing gift of our own lives that we have and of each other. And therefore, we can leave a legacy for our children, our grandchildren, and generations to come. And we can do this, my friends. I know we can do this. So if you agree with me, I'd like you to rise up, if you can, out of your chairs and join me with a powerful yes! And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you.